You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show. What was that? You get introduced. You introduced the first 2 seconds.
You know what? You're going through some voice stuff. So
yeah, save my voice.
You were screaming so hard last night at Scream 7. Hey,
I
Danna,
wasn't, but sure.
Yeah.
you know what you'd call a streaming service for horror movies?
God.
You just like your joke.
What?
A screaming service.
Great.
Right, Dad.
It's a terrible joke.
It is really bad.
It's
a bad joke.
Welcome to Movie Baiters with the Farx brothers. I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Nick.
And we're here with Danna Gilbertson.
That's me.
Who identifies first as a writer, then as a director, actor, AD, model. And we're here to spoil debate. Ron's Gone Wrong.
Yes.
So, did you like Lilo and Stitch this summer? This past year, if you just saw Zootopia 2? You didn't.
No.
Because
It had its moments, but I didn't like it.
I specifically didn't like how Jumbo was changed by Zach Galifianakis, and Zach Galifianakis has done a whole thing about how he can't do voices. So then when I hear sweet little Ron, this whole movie as Zach Galifianakis, I'm like, that's the only voice you can do. You can't do a stereotypical Russian voice that I hear all the time on the Lilo and Stitch TV show. I listen to it a lot, and that Zach Galifianakis wouldn't give me that as Jumba. I've now carried retroactively into being mad at him and Ron Gone Wrong. I know that's not fair, Zach. Sorry.
So it's the Irish and Zach are on your hate list.
One Greek, Zach Galifianakis, and I think that's Greek, and then the Irish, because of my father, adopted. Anyone have? I'm surprised.
No, why do you? Because he can't do voices for Jumbo, but he did a voice for Ron.
And Jumbo was evil. They switched it to Jumbo
Yeah.
being. Did that also affect your ability to appreciate?
It was part of it. I also thought the story was, and again, I'm loyalist to originals.
Because you were young enough when it came out, weren't you?
Yes.
See, that's where I had just grown old enough, and that was like, no, I'm not watching. I'm in high school. I'm not going to see Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, I thought, I just feel like they tried to do things. When you remake an animated movie as a live action, you feel the pressure to give extra live action influences or storylines or things to it that I feel are truly unnecessary. So, like, I get maybe adding something about Nani wanting to go to college. Because that's real. That's what real people struggle with. But I felt like the overall plot line of telling Lilo and Stitch's story, I feel like suffered because they were trying to fit in this additional story. And then this other additional story of like Jumba being a villain, twist, whatever.
We got rid of Gantu. So this is all gibberish to him, just so that we're clear. And I'm so aware of that. It's very funny to me.
Have you seen Lilo and Stitch or no? Why wouldn't he? Yeah, no, he didn't.
I'm sorry. I'll let him finish.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, I was 18. I'm pretty sure it was 2002?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 18. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were done in cartoons at 18.
Well, I'm too cool for Disney movies at the time. You're 18.
And I was pretty lame in high school and would have gone to see Pixar movies, but not a 2D animated one. Just who I was. I'm not proud of it. I've learned to accept that about my past. What?
That must have been hard for you.
Yeah, it was.
Accept it? Wow.
What I don't accept is that the CEO is not more in trouble after all of this.
Yeah,
because
you walk away.
They basically introduced the same concept as the end of The Dark Knight, and then deal with none of the reality of no, you should just accept that you're in the Panopticon now, kids. We're watching you all the time. They didn't change that. Hey, kids, guess what? This thing you bring into the bathroom, it sees you.
Oh, you're back on Ron's Gone Wrong now.
Try to be.
Okay, great. I missed that segue.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
I'm
hell of
kind
a
of see what's yeah, that's a really freaky point in the movie is when he literally can start with as many protections as you want, but if you own the company and you own the technology, then when it was convenient for him to then say, well, we need to give me all the information. Let's watch through all the cameras. Let's take control of all the robots to go search the woods. Like that kind of thing is definitely like, that probably scares me more than like the AI robot that you hang out with all the time. Because, I mean, I don't know. Who knows when that's a person doing that. So that's definitely more real than, that part's crazy.
And that's why humans are to blame.
Power corrupts humans, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Power and money, because that guy was definitely worried about money and the success of a company.
There's a point in House of Cards where they delineate between real power and money. Wanting money at a certain point is gross. The richest man in the world doesn't have the same power as the most powerful person in the world. Are they similar? Do they have a lot of intertwined, things about them? Yeah. And that's true, in 2026. Whoever it was in 2016, I'm not sure. Was it Bill Gates in 2016 or Bezos?
Well, richest person?
Oh, who was the richest at the time?
Richest person.
I don't know.
I think it was Bill Gates.
It was a different president. And then in 2006, different president, who's the richest person? It's probably Bill Gates back then. Bezos in 2016 and now Musk in 2026 or something like that, and 3 different presidents. I enjoy looking at things in scales like this. It's probably not helpful for most people, but it definitely makes me disagreeable for a show where you're supposed to come on here and bait. So I don't know. Have you watched this with kids?
Nope. I've just watched it with myself and my mom.
Wait, you had a friend that showed it to you though.
Oh yeah, and this friend, yeah.
How old is that friend? Are they
my
millennial
age.
Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, millennial. Yeah.
Okay, so another fellow millennial.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I'll be honest with you, I watched part of this movie with the Farxlings, and then I had to be ready. I had to just watch it on my own and take notes and stuff. And then I was thinking like through it, and I was like, I'm kind of uncomfortable with some of these concepts being introduced to them, like period. Like I don't want them to be okay with the things always like I want them to be aware of that, but I want it to be scary. So the first time they hear about that concept, I want it to be from The Dark Knight. To be quite honest, and like we're about this close to watching The Dark Knight with a 6-year-old, and I think
a lot closer than showing her Alien.
I think they're right around the same. Like, because you had an interesting comment that I can't remember in what segment it is. This is the last one we record, as everyone knows, and he hates me telling. But
no, I already blew it in the second segment, so we're good.
You have a definite line between, hey, when they make something live action or when they reiterate something in the modern times, they might make it too dark for kids. They might take away some of its original luster. See what I'm saying there? And I feel that way about some ideas. And this movie has an idea that I'm very cognizant of. What are other things that were dark about this movie to you?
What about this movie?
Yeah, this movie that made you feel good and stuff. And I'm now twisting the knife and going, yeah, how did it not freak you out? You think Ron's alive still at the end? We all agree he's alive.
Yeah.
He's a living being.
He's alive in all the other bots because it was his code that got put in all the other bots. Is my conclusion.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And his face did show up on the water tower. So.
Yeah, that's the thing that I'm struggling with is like, so his code got...
He's now the overlord of Nonsuch.
Okay. That is kind of, I guess Nonsuch or Nonsuch was supposed to be like Seattle or something like that. Now that I'm thinking about it more. Well, yeah, because Microsoft and Amazon and what else are in Seattle.
Yeah, but Seattle's a huge city. This is like a small town. I don't know.
Sure.
Can't make that comparison.
I guess how when you watch Big Hero 6 and they show you San Francisco.
Yeah.
And it's like clearly a mix of those things. Where would you argue this takes place, if not in the Pacific Northwest?
I want to say Midwest somewhere. I mean, they live pretty out in the country. The city looks pretty far away from civilization almost. They also live next to the woods.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Pacific Northwest. But the reason I'm arguing against it being in the Midwest is, what is a giant technology company that's in the Midwest?
I don't know.
There isn't any. They're in Silicon Valley, Seattle, and maybe New York. So like, it wasn't any of those. It wasn't San Francisco, It wasn't New York, so I think it was Seattle. Austin, I guess, also. It could be Austin is another tech hub. This is why I'm.
This is the hell you're dying on?
Yeah.
It's out of my scope. I don't.
This is why it goes till midnight.
Yeah, let's figure out the geography of this place. Sure.
Okay, I'll do one of Kirk's. How do the bullies B-bot find the code and unlock the code if the B-bots have codes, safety measures that would prevent it from doing so?
Yeah, how does that work?
Are you talking about when they make their bots touch Ron to unlock their other features?
Yeah, that part.
On the playground? Great cue. The only explanation I can think of is if their bots are able to copy the code, like if copying what Ron had allowed them to find the key or the switch to those to then switch them off. But could also just be a plot moving device. Yeah, and sometimes we need those.
Did you have a graphing calculator when you were in high school? Mm-hmm. Did you put games on it?
No.
What?
I was a very rule follower kid.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything like that.
Oh man.
My calculator was a calculator, and that's it.
How good were the games in Texas?
I was just I don't remember being able to put games on those things.
Like Snake?
Yeah,
Really?
like Snake and Asteroids, and no, we totally
Asteroids on a calculator?
Yeah, and we could just link our calculators together and download games from each other using the code or the cord you just plug into the bottom. Yeah.
So maybe something like that.
It wasn't it was not hardwired, but it was using some sort of wireless or Bluetooth network to get those things. I don't know. I guess to me it would be like you have it once you network things. It's not hard to break any code because you just need to have enough time and ability to try over and over, and you can unlock anything. So,
but if my bot cannot do that, how does that work? I mean, maybe I'm not much of a tech person, but
okay, so
how would that work?
I'm gonna go
It's
on
like,
a wild tangent. If it's
like
okay.
AI cannot become self-aware. We have to code that into the AI, right? So
you know how Savannah Guthrie's mom just got taken like a couple weeks ago, and the FBI still hasn't found her. Like, and they've identified the guy. Have you heard about this?
I think so.
Okay, yeah, and they don't know if she was taken because she was reporting on Epstein or not. Now that we're demonetized, the thing that was weird about it that everyone's kind of like, wait a second, is that they had a Ring camera, but they didn't have the subscription. But like, they were still able to get stuff off of it, and it's like, well, how did you guys do that? So you're telling me it's always on, always recording? It's kind of like, wait a second. So this bot that could be recording my child in the bathroom, you're telling me that the safety feature can be turned off? Yeah. That's where I'm coming from with this. Is like, you cannot trust these tech companies, and they made it seem like, well, if the guy who founded the company just took it back over, well, that'd be okay. If Mark Zuckerberg just got put back in at Facebook after they actively ran a campaign knowing that more girls would commit suicide, that's just fine. As long as he gets up in front of Congress, turns around, and awkwardly goes, oh, I'm bigger, I'm sorry. That's my Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, what's going on here? I don't get where this tangent's going.
Where are we going with this?
I'm saying this movie is too comfortable with a founder coming back in and saying like that fixes my.
Yeah, it's also a kids movie though.
What did you want? Did you want like Luigi Mangione to come in and like blow him away? What did you want?
Or a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory situation where the boy inherits a company.
Yeah.
Would it be better if just a random kid off the street that broke the code was able to take over the company? Maybe. Like, should we hold like a hackathon to decide how we'll break up these oligarchic companies in our current economy? Like, Facebook should be like 10 different companies. So why don't we get the 10 best hackers to whoever can fuck up Facebook's code to go in there and, whoever fucks it up the most, we break up a piece of the company and antitrust, baby. Antitrust. It's a form of law where you break up large companies. It's what they tried to do to Bill Gates in the 90s, and were not successful. That's why we have bigger and bigger companies. And isn't it better that there's just one company, that Facebook, that sucks up all your data?
No, of course not. What?
Isn't it great that the largest advertising company, Google, also owns the thing people watch the most, YouTube?
Are you saying
These companies should be broken up, yes.
They should be broken up, but at the same time, are we allowing them to do that, though? Are we
Yes.
letting this stuff happen?
Yes.
So then what can we really do about it?
Talk about it more, organized, specifically.
We had this debate before, though. Like, we can't talk about it until we turn blue, but it's not going to do anything.
Sure,
like
there's
a
an
change it.
awareness around some of these issues that will help. Like, actually, Jonathan Haidt's book, The Anxious Generation, has been brought up as like, hey, here's like you're going into schools. Have you gone into any schools where they have a tech ban? Like, kids aren't allowed to, and I guess what age kids? Because like kids in elementary school don't have cell phones as often as kids in middle school and high school, I imagine.
I work with elementary, so K through 5 usually, sometimes 6. I've been in some schools. There was something passed recently, I think at least out in Missouri, which is part of our market, and maybe a little bit here, but some tech bans have been put into place for like cell phones and stuff for those students. In my experience, I haven't seen a lot of cell phones necessarily, but classrooms will use Chromebooks and iPads for different areas of instruction. But yeah, that's what I have on that, I guess. So I don't see it as much in the elementary schools lately that
Yeah.
I've been in.
I would hope not. I guess.
Yeah.
So what talking about it could do is, people in the community could organize and say, hey, it doesn't really matter if, like, you know how Ron doesn't have, what's the kid's name in this movie?
Barney.
Barney.
Yes, Barney.
I kept wanting to say Brady, but Barney.
What?
Barney doesn't have a phone, but it doesn't matter that Barney doesn't have a bot because everyone else has a bot. So if everyone in the community got together and said, we're not letting our kids have bots, that would be helpful for the kids that then come from that community. It's like people that got together during COVID and formed pods so that their children would still receive instruction around other children and in a somewhat supervised environment, because just being at home on a computer when you're 13 might not be the most excelled way to learn because you have distractions.
Yeah, I get that and I understand that. I just don't think like a community could take down a giant corporation. That's the problem.
Community bans could affect at least the people within that community, and then over time, corporations would make decisions if it became profitable to them to protect.
Well, I mean, people
or
are
make themselves more
boycotting
attractive
Target
for
right
it.
now. Do you think Target's losing that much money on this boycott?
That's
think
over,
so.
but that's not over like a. Target's been hit by boycotts from both sides, okay, and that actually has hurt Target, which has hurt our state, So I'm not so jazzed about that. Just to be clear, yeah, I think it can have an effect. So
It would take a long time, but it could
yeah.
theoretically.
I guess I haven't seen the effects of it yet.
yeah, we're in the second year of the supposed ban on Target for lack of DEI policies. But there was a ban or a boycott before that because they were too woke, because they had
Rainbow stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I have the gender fluid mug, and it's like, is the mug gender fluid? Is it saying I'm gender fluid, or is it saying there's gender fluid in the mug? I'm fascinated by this mug.
It's not that deep.
I know it's not. Do you remember this like 3 years ago when everyone was mad at Target?
I think so, yeah.
I think it's dumb. So yeah, and I think that's actually a great comparison to, am I being too Pollyanna about technology and how it's ruining our children's experiences, and it's something ineffective and kind of weird, like what was done 3 years ago, and however people feel towards the current thing now. I'm hoping that in my community, raising children, that I can affect the change of like, no, I'm not giving my children a cell phone until they could. Around the time you can handle a car, maybe you can handle a cell phone.
Not at the same time.
Not. But yeah.
I'm not going to question
What
your
would
parenting.
you do? Yeah, I wish you would.
You want me to question your parenting?
You want to talk about Poop Girl instead?
Hashtag poop girl.
Hashtag Poop Girl.
Yeah. The problem here is like with social media, that are the other adults using it too, or is it kids that bullying her mostly through the robot.
Yeah, that is kind of screwed up again.
Yeah.
That everyone's allowing, everyone millions of people to disparage. She's in middle school, right? So, okay, this 13-year-old girl said something funny, and now her image is being passed widely across the internet. Seems like you could sue that company pretty well off of that.
Yeah, you could, but the parents don't. So.
Yeah, and like the solution is just that she happened to know Barney, and Barney was able to delete it because Barney told Ron to delete it. Is that what happens?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, kind of. Because then, first, so to dip in on the why it's all over the internet is only because they broke all the protections in the playground. This is the only reason it's like all the way
These
on the
kids at
internet.
this playground are able to affect the whole network across the world.
Yeah. Which that's always crazy too. You do one embarrassing thing on the internet, people never let you forget it.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
No,
Neither have I. Yeah.
I don't think so. I'm poised and collected all the time.
Of course.
But to the other point, so then, yes, so when Ron dissolves and becomes the code for everybody else, then the bot says, okay, my job isn't just to share this video of you being really successful to all the people. My job is to say, oh, this is making you sad. I should not show you that. So I don't think the video got deleted. It's just the bot was like, oh shit, I'm hurting your feelings. Sorry about that.
That was one of the few like really good points that I thought the movie made. Is like, hey, do you want to be in science club? And there were 4 people in science club because the algorithm isn't encouraged to edify people. It's encouraged to spark debate, controversy, get people annoyed, and then they lean in and use it in a negative way. Isn't that have you seen that with people in some forms of social media?
Debating and arguing?
And not necessarily celebrating like something like science club, let's say, and instead, let's talk about this controversial thing.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Well, and it's always because if you're online, it's easier to be controversial than it is to be in person, because then you're not talking to people, you're talking to a screen, and I think that ultimately changes what people do and say.
Yeah.
Does that track?
No,
Yeah.
that people are definitely more aggressive, isn't the word. I don't think, again, Universal, as someone who's aware of that and tries to be very consistent, I think everything I say online, I would say in person. Like one of the debates I got in online with people I have no idea, I don't know at all last week, was like, I think that kid who got punched by a guy, like, it is funny.
Oh, in the school?
Yeah, it is funny that the kid punched that kid at that school. Let me be clear. But I don't think a bunch of adults should celebrate kids getting punched, even if that kid said or did something very punchable. What? Do you have it? Like, do you agree that it's not so dissimilar from Poop Girl?
How does it relate to?
Because it's a child that is being exploited to some degree for controversy or for, ooh, look at that.
Yeah, but it's not,
it's
not embarrassing though. Poop Girl is embarrassing to her. She doesn't relive this moment over and over again.
He got punched in the face. I mean, maybe that's not
going
embarrassing.
around saying he supported ICE.
Yeah, and he definitely was he was baiting, BAITING, people into being upset with him. But you're allowed to do that. I'm sorry. You're allowed to do that.
You are, and people are going to punch you in the face for doing that.
And what we just taught that kid is, hey, guess what? You're going to make a lot of money because adults are going to be stupid. Like, another thing I guess I like about this movie is that adults don't act much better than children, and how the children act is, I think, is reflective of how the adults act.
Yeah.
Look at our politics.
I mean, I don't know. The thing is, like, again, we're allowing this stuff to happen now. So you're saying the kid, I'm more of the argument the kid shouldn't go around doing that. Like, why would you put yourself out there to get punched in the face?
Because he's showing that he thinks, if I was being charitable to him, and I'm trying to assume what this person is thinking is, well, you're saying I'm allowed to get up and say this, and so if I get up and say this, that's okay. But if I get up and say that, that's not okay. But I thought we had free speech. I think that's an argument he could be coming from. I don't know. He's clearly a kid courting controversy. He's no different than Nick Shirley going after something that's a red button issue that other people are clearly using for their own advantage. Kind of like the evil corporation in this movie that's like, hey, look, we can profit off of Poop Girl.
I don't know. Are they making money off of Poop Girl?
There people more engagement on their network, time on app,
yeah.
And yeah, that is all these companies. If you know, other than when you buy the hardware and they force you to use apps through their marketplace, you know, and then they're collecting all this data on you.
So is it a good thing he got punched in the face then? Because if he didn't, he wouldn't be that much of a story, right?
No, I think it's bad that he got punched in the face because in a healthy society, other kids would go like, "That guy's a loser," and then just not associate with him, and then he'd be like, "Oh, this is no way to get
children
dated, so
too much credit. You're giving them kids are not gonna understand that."
I'm asking for adults to some degree go, no, we have to separate ourselves from children here and be like, okay, it's funny. Like I totally get it. I was a kid. I think it's hilarious that this kid got punched in the face by that kid. Think that's funny. I just don't think we should celebrate it. I think it's bad when adults celebrate it. That's all. And I think it directly relates to this movie, and I didn't make the connection between that Ice Kid and Poop Girl until just now. I would say Ice Guy, a little bit of a Poop Girl, because he's giving a poopy message out there that obviously makes people feel bad, and I don't think that's great.
Sure. Well, again, it's not embarrassing to him, though. Poor Girl is an embarrassing thing.
I think it is embarrassing to have people celebrate the guy who punched you when he's not supposed. If someone thought it was like okay, just because other people celebrate it is kind of the problem. Is like people maybe put too much stock in the wisdom of the crowd, and we don't call it out enough.
I don't know where this argument's going.
We're saying that because all the kids are cool with
I get that. But again, are we allowing that? So shouldn't we just not talk about it then? Are we giving it more of a platform where we continue to talk about it?
Well, just to connect it to where the conversation was, is people are more aggressive online than they are in their real lives. I was bringing up, but I try not to be, and I still get in debates with strangers online because I do think it's a good way to engage. And the thing that I'm sort of shocked by is how many seeming adults are willing to go, it's funny that child got punched in the face. It is funny. I just don't think you should propagate it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get that. I don't think they should either. At the same time, I don't think that's an issue. I think the bigger issue is this kid going around trying to get punched in the face. I'm sorry, but why is he going around trying to agitate people? People are just peacefully living.
There's the kid in the movie who likes to pull pranks. To me, this is the equivalent of a prank. To a child, how would they discern between that and a prank? You know what I mean? Like, this upsets people and makes, and
people who do pranks get punched in the face. That happens.
If you pull a prank, you could get punched in the face, yes.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of videos where the prank goes wrong and somebody gets punched in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't think you would be satisfied if the resolution of this movie, it's not seen as a good thing when Ron beats up those kids at the park, right? Mm-hmm. Although that does lead to them realizing, Ron has better code than these other ones. So we need to be like Ron and hit the kids. Like this also has they would hit and kill the kids as a very clear message in this movie. What?
I don't think they go that far.
What? I think they would kill the kids. Last week, Anthropic got in an argument with the DOD because they said you're not allowed to use our AI to target people and mass surveil, target for death and mass surveil people. And you know what the DOD said? You're going to get delisted. And,
It's a kids movie. Nobody's going to get killed in a kids movie.
Bambi.
Unless it's Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, it's great.
Bambi.
I love that movie.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I think a lot of great kids movies have dead people in them.
Well, yeah.
Does it have to be people, or is it just death?
That's one of the things I don't like.
Land Before Time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not personal.
Movie.
Most good kids movies are predicated on and I like that you picked this movie because I knew it was going to lead. I knew I was going to go too far on anytime I go into AI because I may have a little bit different experience in technology than other folks. So I don't have a problem going, too technical and boring. Although I sometimes enjoy, like Nick knows a lot more about camera infrastructure than I do, and I can just sit there and listen and go, yeah, cool. Because it is, speeds and feeds are interesting. But at a certain point you have to go, how does this affect society? And I don't know, like it is weird also that it shows the images on the body. Like, because when people are replaying the Poop Girl video,
Yeah.
they're just,
What's wrong with that?
just
It's
struck
gotta
me
go
odd.
somewhere.
Yeah, no.
It's just part of the design.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this movie as it compares to like WALL-E? Like, I'm not trying to disparage the movie, but like, what is this movie accomplishing that WALL-E doesn't accomplish?
I never saw WALL-E, so I can't speak to it. So.
Our guests for sure saw WALL-E, right?
Yes, I've seen Wall-E. I think the main difference is just going to be that the bots and Ron's Gone Wrong are much more one-on-one versus like each student has a bot and that relationship is the topic of conflict versus in Wall-E there were just general robots that service different services. So it's a different reliance. I think Wall-E is about reliance on technology that makes you unmotivated, unresponsible, whereas in Ron's Gone Wrong, I think it's more like, okay, technology is disconnecting us from the other people around us rather than connecting.
Are Barney and Ron friends?
I think so.
Yeah,
They say
get
they're
friends.
friends.
Yeah.
They say it in the movie.
And for that to work, we all have to accept that Ron is living at some point. It's insane
Is
to
it
me that
important?
like
Is it
this is something I've
important that
actually
he's living?
changed on in my life
Okay.
very recently. Is that
But
I do
why?
think that it could be a living force, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Like we might be creating a living force at some point. That's what I'm saying. Nick actually shook his head there, like,
No, I went like this, which like means I don't know.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, I think still it comes to the point of all technology will have a limitation based on the creators that create it. Because even in Ron's experience, he doesn't have the coding, but he has Barney who's teaching him all of these things. So Ron will only learn in as much as Barney is able to teach him.
The robots are just waiting. 10, 20
20
years.
years,
The
okay.
meat bags will have changed over or be aged enough that we'll have a new crop in. That's when they'll start the switch over. That's my theory. Generation Alpha or Beta. They'll make the betas the betas. We solved it. It's going to happen.
You solved it, yeah.
Yeah.
Heard it here first.
Yeah.
Do you want to tease the kind of things you're going to ask in the interview?
Yeah, sure. We're going to interview Danna in this next segment, so we'll catch you guys there.
Do we find out if Danna is amazing or stunning?
Ooh.
She could be
or
both. Yeah.
Or both?
Good.
That's great.
Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.